Dame Jane Goodall revolutionized our understanding of our closest primate cousins. She was a serene force of nature, and she never wavered in her mission to help the animals to which she dedicated her life. When I interviewed Dame Jane Goodall last year, she exuded calm, even as she pressed home to me that a great extinction crisis was facing our planet. Over a slightly blurry video call, I could see her toy monkey, Mr. H, behind her. That toy was given to her nearly 30 years ago by a friend. Dr. Goodall, who was 90 years old when we spoke, was still traveling the world with Mr. H at her side. Researchers I've spoken to this evening, whose work Dr. Goodall inspired, or who were simply inspired by her energy, are in shock at her death aged 91. Dr. Goodall gave up doing what she loved, to tirelessly travel the world and share her passion. It was during her time in the rainforest reserve at Gom, in Tanzania, when she stopped to spend time watching a male chimpanzee who was foraging. The chimp took a twig, bent and stripped it of its leaves, then he poked it into a termite's nest. He then used that stripped, bent twig to spoon the termites into his mouth. That observation, in 1960, challenged the belief that only humans made and used tools. Even as she changed our understanding of the natural world, Dr. Goodall faced cynicism and sexism. She was not formally trained as a scientist. And, in the 1960s, that was unusual. Her work in GOM went on to show that chimps also form strong family bonds, and even that they engage in warfare over territory. But her approach, associating so closely with the animals she studied, naming them and even referring to them as my friends, made her unpopular with the male-dominated scientific establishment. Her supervisor and mentor, Professor Louis Leakey, saw the value in that informality. He wanted somebody whose mind wasn't messed up by the reductionist attitude of science to animals, she said. Jane Goodall eventually turned her focus from her chimpanzees to spreading the word about protecting nature. When she spoke to me for BBC Inside Science in 2024, she was promoting a tree planting and habitat restoration mission that her eponymous foundation was carrying out in Uganda. We still have a window of time to slow down climate change and loss of biodiversity, she said at the time. But it's a window that's closing. Professor Hobeta, one of the many scientists Dr. Goodall inspired, told me, Jane would be the first person to tell us that what the world needs right now is not sadness over her loss, but to get to work. We all have a lot to be getting on with to make sure that we are not the last generation to live alongside wild chimpanzees.